So you could see how he approaches Thompson from the back. Before then, where we freeze the video, he fires those shots at Thompson.
There are many thoughts on the United Healthcare CEO killing.
Let's not mince words. It was a murder. The man was murdered. You know what I mean? And the news would describe it as if it was the singular event in history. This horrific crime that took place in the streets of New York in broad daylight, this harrowing attack. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm just saying that the woman in the video with her coffee that got out of the way didn't spill.
Comedian Josh Johnson, one of the best in the game today, has lots to share.
All right, tons of evidence found on this man, Luigi Mangione, when he was arrested at that McDonald's, including all those fake IDs.
The employee that thought it was him that, I guess, started the initial, investigation on it. I talked to her later. I said, was I here when he came in? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, actually, you and your friends and all were making a joke, almost like saying, you know, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, he ordered, went to the rear of the store and sat.
All right, you're just hearing there from a customer at the McDonald's yesterday morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Maybe the funniest part of it all?
He's eating a McDonald's hash brown, which means somebody woke up early to snitch. Damn, barely awake at 9 o'clock. I don't know. Blinking, oh, that must be him. Let me make the call. You know? What's even crazier about that is apparently, at least as of the time I am talking to you, it looks like that McDonald's worker that called him is not going to get the reward money. Which, wow. Is not going to get the reward money. And people were looking it up. The person was like, why wouldn't I get the reward money? Everything. Apparently, what they were told and what the internet says is actually the process of collecting reward money for turning someone in is very complicated because there's an amount that has to be approved by two different bodies, and one body approved the $10,000, but when it got up to $50, $60, it wasn't approved by both bodies. So then when they turned them in, they may not get anything at all, actually, because there's so much confusion around how much to give them or if it's the full amount. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of wild to me, because there was no confusion when they called and they were like, here. So y'all coming or?
Reports are indicating Johnson is right. The employee who called the police on Luigi Mangione may not get the reward that was offered.
As Luigi Mangione, suspect in the shooting death of the United Healthcare CEO, sat down to eat at an Altoona, Pennsylvania McDonald's, other customers thought he looked familiar. Mangione was taken into custody and is awaiting extradition to New York City, where he faces a second-degree murder charge.
Completely unjust and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
On that reward, though, once more.
That's why they in my opinion, they did it wrong. You know, if you're going to call and you're going to tell people that he's here, don't call the police right away. Get your money up. Call Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call Blue Cross Blue Shield and be like, hey, I know you don't know me, but I think I might have eyes on your boy. And we don't know what he gonna do next, so what are you thinking, 50, 60? I'm just wondering how much he's worth to you, you know what I mean? Because I could make some other calls if you want. I can call a couple different people. There are about 6 providers. Y'all got a real monopoly going on, so. Okay, because he might be here, he might not. Hurry up, it looked like he leaving. then they're like, oh no, actually, I'm the FBI and the local police have to decide on an amount, and then there's like an arbitration process and everything. It's just so funny that like this whole thing happened, and then them trying to get their money just sounds like an insurance claim.
A hilariously true point by Johnson, amongst many he made in his must-watch material.
The suspect at the center of the shocking killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is now officially charged with his murder. We're going to be talking about Luigi Mangione, and since his arrest, shocking details have emerged about this Ivy League graduate's seeming fall from grace, from his powerful family ties to the chilling circumstances of how he was caught. Here's everything we know about the man who allegedly killed the CEO of one of the largest health insurance companies in the country.
Touching on a story inside the story. To many, at least. How aesthetically pleasing the alleged shooter is, which Johnson touches on.
And they put his picture all over the news and everything, and it turns out that he is very good looking. Like, just upsettingly good looking, almost objectively in a way, like crazy. Everything in its right place and everything's good. Strong eyebrows with a big smile and everything, and just all the pictures. Because you know when the news catch you, when the police catch you, they try to put up some, depending on who you are. This usually happens to black people, but it happens to white people once in a while too, where they try to find the craziest picture they can of you, and I think they tried, but it was tough work because he is a good-looking individual. Every picture looked good. He would just be with model rockets, looking like a model. Like it was crazy. They take his mug shot, and the mug shot looked like a cologne ad. Like that's. That was upsetting to me as a fellow man. I was like, y'all gotta get one bad pic, please. One bad picture. He was doing everything in that mug shot but biting his lip. Like,
It's true. From his mug shots to his clean cuts after being in jail, Mangione has, it appears, not just the respect of those in prison, but some even on the outside watching his trial closely.
But I do think to call this an act of terrorism is an insult to the intelligence of the American people. Terrorism is something designed to strike fear into the hearts of non-combatant civilians, right? The general population. Nobody but a tiny class of CEOs has been made to live in fear by Luigi's actions, but nearly everybody knows what it's like to live in fear of having a necessary medical claim denied, the fear of having your life ruined or potentially ended by a stack of medical bills. And I think in a system with so much violence that's directed from the top down, it should come as no surprise when violence begins to boomerang back from the bottom up onto the 1%. Also, I would like to remind you on the subject of terrorism, nearly 3,000 Americans lost their lives on 9/11, right? This is the largest terrorist attack this country has ever seen. An estimated 190,000 people are murdered each year by our broken healthcare system. That is the equivalent of 52 9/11s worth of deaths every year. Every single week, another 9/11 happens. So I got to ask, who is the more prolific terrorist in this equation?
Former Majority Report contributor Jamie Peck hit the nail on the head in her interview with Chris Cuomo at News Nation. Johnson, meanwhile, explains further.
I'm not gonna lie, Luigi, he went to Starbucks and then he did that murder, and then he hopped on a city bike and he left New York and everything. If you the CEO of Starbucks, you gotta be like, oh, thank goodness. Starbucks does stuff too. Starbucks, they love that labor. They love that cheap labor. CEOs are freaking out, across the board. Who would have thought CEOs were family? Do you know what I mean? Like, and let's be clear about something. Don't mistake the different CEOs that commented on this, the ones that stayed scared, the ones that appealed to a different way of doing things while they keep doing everything the same way. Don't mistake their self-preservation for empathy. Some people started turning on Luigi and then rooting for the CEO. It was odd because people got too wrapped up in the money. But for me, it's not the money specifically. It wasn't about who's rich and who has more money than who. It was about a system that destroys people's lives, you know? It was about the fact that some jobs make you a monster and there are some jobs you have to be a monster to do. You know what I mean?
Be sure to check out Josh Johnson's YouTube channel where he posts tons of long-form content. Hit the sub button while you're at it. His Instagram for more clips and, of course, posts. His TikTok page while you still can. And his website, Josh Johnson Comedy, for tour updates. Who knows? He may be coming to a town near you.